So now we're on to the left hand. If you've been playing so far, you've probably realized while the right hand is responsible for plucking notes, if we don't change the sound with the left hand by pressing down on the fretboard, we're only stuck with the 6 open strings. And after a while, those are going to sound pretty boring to you and the audience as well. So the ability for the left hand to fret is going to be really critical and really important. So I want to give you a couple of ideas for how to make a good sound. I'm going to start by making 3 different sounds, and I want you to tell me which sound you would buy the record for. Okay, so I'm going to do all of this starting with my left pointer finger. In Guitar Talk, we call that finger number 1. So if I go down to the highest E string, the high E string that's closest to my toes, and I try to play right in the middle of the fret. Let's see how that sounds. Would you buy that record? I wouldn't. Let's try 2 more sounds. So the middle of the fret didn't work. Let's try right on the fret, right on the metal. Let's see how that sounds. Well, it's not buzzy like sound number 1, but it's kind of muted. I don't think I would buy that record either. Let's try this. I'm going to take my pointer finger and go from the middle of the fret right up to the fret without touching it. How's this sound? This is the clear sound we want when we're playing. What I've just demonstrated to you is the sweet spot of the fret. So we want each time with each finger, regardless of what fret we're on, to try to accurately land in the same place each time, right in front of the fret, without being on top of it, causing that muted sound. A lot of beginners say, or people who have tried the guitar and given up on picking it up said, oh, my hands are small, oh, you know, it hurt my fingers, oh, it's hard to press down. If you're playing a steel string guitar, that's probably the hardest instrument to start learning on, because the thin steel strings will be a little uncomfortable on your fingers and will cause some callousing, yeah. I have a nylon string guitar here where the 3 skinniest strings are of a softer material. That way I can actually play with my fingernails. If the steel string guitar is hurting you, you might want to consider finding a Yamaha beginning guitar with nylon strings. It's a lot softer. If you're determined to stay afloat with your steel string guitar, you're going to need to take some breaks often, and there's going to just be a little bit of a learning curve as your fingers develop the calluses for this new habit. But in the same kind of vein of this talk, I want you to understand that it's not all about power, it's not all about strength, it's also about accuracy. A lot of these beginners that said the guitar was so difficult, they might have been trying to strong arm playing the guitar. It's very important to just keep your finger in an accurate place on the fret. So power is a component, but accuracy is as well. So the first 2 fretted notes I like to teach are F and G, and they're in a pretty easy place to find on the guitar. So again, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Let's go to this skinny E string, and again, take your first finger, we're going to go to the left of the fret. So in between the nut and the fret, That's what we want for the first fret. And that's an F, okay? Remember the sweet spot through this? You can pause the video just to practice that for a while. The next note I want to play, we're going to skip over the second fret for now. It also makes a beautiful sound, but we're not going to need it for our first challenge. We're going to hop 0, that's the open string, 1, skip over 2, and bring your ring finger, finger number 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put that on the 3rd fret. Just get a sense of this new sound we're making. That's a G, okay? So we can practice our open string, which is E, our first finger F, and our 3rd finger G. After all, the regular alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It makes sense that E, F, and G are relatively close together. As far as this mystery note on the 2nd fret, we'll get to that later. Now that you know these 3 notes, we're going to demonstrate mountain climbing.